Unit 5, Common Assessment, Multiplication and Division of Fractions. Number 1. Alex is painting an 8-foot-long mural on the wall of the community center. If he has finished 1/4 of the mural, how many feet of the mural has he painted? 1 foot, B, 2 feet, C, 4 feet, D, 36 feet. Number 2. Margaret is selling wrapping paper for a fundraiser. She promised to sell 90 rolls by the end of the month. If she has sold 2/3 of her rolls so far, how many rolls of wrapping paper has she sold? A, 30 rolls, B, 60 rolls, C, 66 rolls, D, 88 2/3 rolls. Number 3. Joshua's math test has 35 questions. If he answered 6/7 of them correctly, how many questions did Joshua answer correctly? A, 5 questions, B, 28 questions, C, 30 questions, D, 41 questions. 4. What is 3/5 of 1/7? A, 5/21, B, 4/12, C, 3/35, D, 1 1/35. 5. What equation does the diagram show? A, 1/2 times 3/4 equals 3/8. B, 1/3 times 4/6 equals 4/18 equals 2/9. C, 1/2 times 4/5 equals 4/10 equals 2/5. D, 1/2 times 4/6 equals 4/12 equals 1/3. Number 6. Mrs. G is making salad dressing for a party. If 3/5 of the mixture in the measuring cup is olive oil, how many cups of olive oil does Mrs. G use to make the salad dressing? In the picture, it says vinegar, oil, and there's 2 1/2 cups. A, 3/10 cup, B, 1 cup, C, 1 1/2 cups, D, 1 3/4 cups. 7. What equation does the diagram show? A, 1/8 times 5/8 equals 5/64. B, 1/2 times 1/8 equals 1/16. C, 1/2 times 1/4 equals 1/8. D, 1/4 times 5/8 equals 5/32. 8. Betty Jo is making a table runner for her dining room table. She needs it to be 1/2 foot wide by 8 3/4 feet long. What is the area of the table runner? A, 8 3/8 square feet, B, 9 1/4 square feet, C, 4 square feet, D, 4 3/8 square feet. 9. Which picture represents how to find The area of a rectangle with the side lengths of 3/4 and 2/5. A, B, C, D. 10. Which visual representation shows how to calculate the quotient for 1/2 divided by 3? A, 1/6, B, 1/8, C, 1/4, D, 1/6. 11. Which explanation makes the following equation true? 2/3 times 1 equals 2/3. A, two numbers multiplied together equals a fraction. B, a number times 1 equals itself. C, a fraction times a whole number equals a fraction. D, a fraction times 1 equals 1. 12. Which best explains why 5/3 times 5 is greater than 5? A, because 5/3 is greater than 1. B, because 5/3 is less than 1. C, because 1 and 2/3 is less than 1. D, because 5 plus 3 is greater than 1. 13. Which best explains why 3 times 1/5 is less than 3? A, because 1/5 is greater than 1. B, because 3 is greater than 1. C, because 1/5 is less than 1. D, because 3 is less than 1. 14. Choose a value for P that will make the following equation true. 3 times P is greater than 3. A, 1/3. B, 5/4. C, 4/4. D, 7/8. 15. 4 students are sitting at a table and have been given 1/3 of a pan of brownies to share. How much of the pan of brownies will each student receive if they share equally? A, 1/6 of the pan. B, 1/4 of the pan. C, 1/12 of the pan. D, 1/16 of the pan. 16. 8 friends wanted to share 1/2 of the birthday cake. How much of the cake would each friend receive if they shared the cake equally? A, 1/4. B, 16. C, 4. D, 1/16. 17. Which story matches the following equation? 16 divided by 1/2 equals 32. A, Braylee has a half of a pan of lasagna and wants to share it between 16 friends. How much of the pan will each friend get? B, Mrs. Smith has 16 markers and wants to put half of them in the basket. How many markers will she put in the basket? C, Mike ran 16 miles on Friday and another half of a mile on Sunday. How many miles did Mike run in all? D. Diane has 16 apples. She cuts each apple in half to share with friends. How many friends can get 1/2 of an apple? (18) Which story matches the following equation? 1/4 divided by 3 equals 1/12. A. Suzanne has 1/4 of a pan of brownies. She wants to share it with herself and 2 friends. How much will each person get? B. Allison has 3 candy bars. She divides each into fourths. How many pieces does she have? C. Carly ate 1/4 of 3 pounds of M&Ms. How much did she eat? D. Amy has 3 boxes of tissues. If she used 1/4 of the tissues, how much are left? 19. Which of the following symbols best completes the following equation? 7 times 1/3 blank 7. A. Less than because of the commutative property. B. Less than because 7 is being multiplied by a factor less than 1. C. Greater than because when you multiply 2 factors, the product is always larger. D. Equal because 1/3 has a 1 in it, and anything times 1 is that number. 20. Which story matches the following equation? 1/2 times 3 equals 1 and 1/2. A. 3 friends each have half of a candy bar. If they put their pieces together, how many candy bars do they have? B. Sarah has 3 candy bars, and Lisa has 1/2 of a candy bar. How many candy bars do they have in all? C. If Erica has 3 candy bars and George eats 1/2 of them, how many candy bars are left? D. 3 friends are sharing half of a candy bar. How much of the candy bar will each friend receive if they share equally? 21. Angelo has 4 pounds of peanuts. He wants to give each friend 1/5 of a pound. How many friends can he give 1/5 of a pound to? A. 20, because 4 times 1/5 equals 20/5. B. 20, because 5/5 are in 1 pound, so there must be 20/5 in 4 pounds. C. 5, because 5/5 is in 1 pound. D. He can't give any away because 4 times 1/5 equals 4/5. 22. How much rice will each person receive if 3 people share half a pound of rice equally? A. 1/2 divided by 3 equals 2 times 3 equals 6. B. 1/2 divided by 3 equals 1/2 times 1/3 equals 1/6. C. 3 divided by 1/2 equals 3 times 2 equals 6. A, 3 divided by 1/2 equals 1/3 times 2 equals 2/3. (23) Draw a rectangular array representing 1/4 times 2/3 equals 2/12 equals 1/6. Then create a word problem matching the equation. 24. Draw a rectangular array representing 3 times 2/3 equals 6/3 equals 2. Then create a word problem matching the equation. 25. Ms. Diane used the following problem as her question of the day. 2 2/3 times 4. Instead of asking the class to solve the problem, she asked the class the following question. Will the product be greater than or less than 4? She asked the students to explain their reasoning before finding the product. A, how would you answer Miss Diane's question if she called on you? B, Miss Diane is a visual learner. This means that sometimes saying the explanation is hard for her to understand. But if you draw a picture or visual representation, she always understands. Draw a visual representation for Miss Diane that helps her understand your explanation.